Hello everyone, DJ Aiden here, and today I am going to be reading Your FNaF Theories. Now, we will be starting simple by reading 4 theories with this potential series, and there's the thing, this could be a series, this could not be a series. I will need y'all's opinion and see whether you like this or not because, well, for one, your opinion is very important on whether I should be making this or not. Before I begin reading your theories, I want to state the rules of this series. That is, if it does become a series, but as of now, these are the rules. Number 1, pretty obvious. Be respectful, don't try and be rude towards me or anyone, because I'm not going to be reading your comment if you're going to act rude. Second, be sure to state your name or not. Just state whether you want your name or not. If you don't state your name, you will likely be in the episode, but I probably won't give out your name, so you don't get, harassed, because I don't really want to risk harassment on people's end, and I would rather have people's consent on whether they want their name to be shared or not. So, if I say anonymous, then that's because they didn't give out whether they want their name to be shared or not, or they just said that they don't want their name to be shared. Just a heads up. But enough of that. Let's read your theories. Now, let's start it off by reading a theory by Twitter user Glitch. This doesn't have much proof, but the reconstruction work mentioned in Lally's game is the one that reshapes the Ultreum from what we hear about in the earlier days of the Pizzaplex into the one we see in Bobby Dots as well as Security Breach. Now, for those who are confused on what this user is talking about, this is about the Tales from the Pizzaplex book, so if you don't get it, then yeah, that's why, because it's from the books, and I know not all of y'all read the books, but this is specifically about the books and Security Breach. Now, to give my thoughts on this, I think it's a pretty decent theory, but unfortunately, as the user has stated, it doesn't have much proof, which kind of weakens it a little bit, but I think it's pretty decent for what it is, and I believe it's a pretty solid idea, to be honest. To give my final thoughts, it's a simple theory, but not all theories need to be complicated, and that's good. Sometimes theories just need to be nice and simple, and this is one of the good examples of nice and simple. Now, this second theory comes from Twitter user Yankee, and the theory states that William designed the puppet based on Bite Victim, and intended the puppet to get possessed and to later give life to the 5 animatronics, like how Bite Victim gave life to his plushies, with Plush Bear / Golden Freddy being the odd one out. Now, this is actually a pretty good theory, and I find this to be very interesting. To be honest, the more I think about it, the more it actually kind of starts to make sense. I mean, Puppet, Bite Victim, they both share the same black and white stripe things, right? Sure, that's what everyone used to say back in 2015, but it could really be that Puppet was made by Afton to do experiments, and he intended on killing those 5 children so he can see what happens to them, what the puppet does, what will happen after their death. There's maybe only one problem I can think about it, is that in the whole FNAF 6 puppet minigame, the puppet is specifically chasing after Charlie because she has the green wristband and is killed by Afton. But you could counter that and say that it's just Puppet's programming kicking in, and Afton does do a pretty good job on disguising friendly little mascots as this whole experiment machine thingamajiggy. So yeah, my overall thoughts? Very good. I like this theory a lot. Now, onwards to this theory by Anonymous. It's gonna be a long read, but I assure you, it's gonna be worth reading because I believe this to be very interesting. To read exactly what they're saying, Andrew gets stuff into the Fredbear suit from the new kid. The story has a theme of consequences. Andrew wears a gator mask as a clear reference to Old Man Consequences. The unexplained slithering is most likely Eleanor using Andrew's leftover remnant from the suit to make a projection of Kelsey. That most likely being why the story talks about how he looked like the suit, While I'm sure Kelsey was once a real person, the Kelsey we meet in the story is most likely a creation of Eleanor that she made in his image to make it even more believable that he is a normal kid. We even see Andrew's hair in that suit, most likely due to his leftover remnant in that suit. Now, it implies that Andrew died in the same way the MCI kids died, so the new kid most likely is elaborating on this. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I don't think I have any problems with this. To be honest, this could be like how Scott intended the story to be for all I know. I don't have any counterpoints. Like, okay, damn, you cooked. Like, wow, this has been a very good video. Everyone's cooking, to be honest. Like, this theory is pretty self-explanatory. If you don't know what this is talking about, it's talking about like the Fazbear Frights book, but I'm not going to go into full description of what happens in the Fazbear Frights book because we'd be like here forever. But to give my overall thoughts, yeah, pretty good theory. Now, here's the final theory. It's an interesting one. Actually, no, all of these theories have been an interesting one. I say that. They're all interesting, but I'm going to read this theory by Anonymous. Cassie is patient 46. When viewing the recordings having to do with patient 46, they find the Pizzaplex funny. That is more eerie than entertaining and also thinks the ink glob looks like a mask. She also has lied on the past about her family being horrible towards her. She is most likely under the effects of the mimic via the Vanny mask, and she was soon put in therapy to try and sort out her behavior problems. Post-ruin, how she escaped and survived the elevator? Well, it's just a theory. A game theory! It's a pretty fascinating theory, to be honest. I mean, if Cassie really was patient 46, that would be one hell of a twist. I don't think anyone would be able to predict that, but it's a very interesting one, to be honest. Now, you're gonna have to take my word for it, but in the Ruin DLC, when you have like the Vanny mask as your items, your little mission description says like, ooh, it suits you well, which could be taken as, hey, maybe you've wore this mask before. Now, I do have a pretty big counterpoint to this. The whole story GGY. It pretty much shows that Gregory himself is patient 46. No matter whether you believe that it's a parallel or canon, in the end it shows that Gregory is patient 46. Now, maybe Cassie isn't patient 46, but maybe she's worked with Glitch Trap before. That I could see, but it's still an interesting theory nonetheless. I mean, Cassie being patient 46, that would be one hell of a plot twist, but I have a feeling that they kind of always intended it to be Gregory. To give my overall thoughts, despite my issues with the theory, it's a fun one, and I think it would be pretty cool to implement in an AU or something like that. And that's all of the theories. This was really fun to read. Even if I had some issues with it, it really was fun to read some of y'all's theories. Now, it wasn't much, but, you know, sometimes you gotta appreciate the small things, and I, in fact, do appreciate the small things. That, and I feel like it's for the best that it was kind of a small little selection of theories, so that way we can test the waters and see whether we like this series or not. So, if you do like this series, be sure to like and subscribe or comment that you like this series. Now, if this video does do well, be sure to keep an eye on my Twitter so that when I post a hey, submit me your theories post, you can be there before it's too late. Or if you don't have Twitter, then you could go in the YouTube community tabs, because I will probably post on the YouTube community tab and say, hey, give me your theories in there. So that way both of y'all have a chance to submit your theories. But this has been DJ Aiden, and I'll see y'all on the flip side. Yo guys, this has been DJ Aiden, and I'll see you on the flip side. This has been DJ Aiden, and I'll see you on the flip side.